Hey guys, thank you again for joining my channel. So today I wanted to discuss an interesting topic that I hope it's going to help you guys make some better choices in the future. So it's all about rent versus mortgage. And this topic has been quite debated a lot of times online, and I feel I wanted to say my opinion on this because a lot of people seem to push their agenda on rent, and I don't know why, or pretty much they kind of manipulate the numbers they're showing you to kind of give you an impression then that rent is the best way to move forward. While renting is quite good, in my opinion, short term, I think everything that's long term, you have to think about getting a mortgage. And I hope by the end of this video, you kind of see a bit where I'm coming from and why I think long term you should always push to get a mortgage and work to get a mortgage and have your own place. So let's start really quick on why rent is a good option, especially short term. So it's pretty much hassle free. You don't need to have a deposit. You only need to pay probably a month or two in advance. Again, hassle free. You don't need to worry about insurance or anything that needs to be repaired. You could have a short rent or long or medium, I guess 6 months, 12 months, 18 months type of rent. You have the versatility to rent the whole place or only rent a room, or also you could have your bills included or not included depending the type of rent you have. And you also pay money on this because of the comfort that you have, because if you don't like the place you could always move 6 months later, and you have the comfort of not caring about if something breaks, I don't know, the roof is leaking, the electricity system malfunctions, whatever, it's not your problem. So that's why people go for rent, and it's quite a good one. But the problem is you get accustomed to this and you always want to live in a better place, so you move from one bedroom rent to 2 bedrooms or in a much better place, and at the end of the day the money you pay on rent is money that goes out of your pocket, and that's it. Moving on to mortgage, the issues that people have with owning a house and having a mortgage on a house is you have to put in some money up front, so it's between 10 and 15% deposit. So that's kind of between 30 and 50,000 pounds or dollars, depending on what you're trying to go for. But you need to have a hefty deposit at the beginning. There are also a lot of fees, so you need to pay solicitor fees, and there's so many things that you kind of need to save probably £5,000 or $5,000. It's hit and miss here, probably depending on the area and how many laws and fees are available. But when you go for a mortgage, there are always fees. Depending also where you live, there are different type of taxes. In the UK, you have stamp duty. In the US, it's a bit more complicated depending on the state that you live in. You have to pay insurance, and also there unfortunately also repairs that sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But again, the pros of having a mortgage on our house, it all depends how well you do your research before buying a house. So you always have to do decent research before buying a property. So you need to understand what's the property like. You need to check every room quite thoroughly. You need to check the plumbing system, maybe talk to the neighbors. There's always check the roof if you can. See if there are any nice schools in the area. Always drive by in different hours to the house you're planning to buy, for example. So what I would do is drive 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and a Sunday, on Wednesday. Check out the area, see if there's how does it feel at night. Also, what amenities do you have near you? To be fair, if you check the shops in the area of the place you're trying to buy, that kind of gives you a hint of what type of area it is. So if you have really expensive and nice shops, it's one thing. If you have a lot of, I don't know, liquor stores, maybe it's not the greatest area. Normally the shops tend to give you a good understanding what type of income area that is. Keep in mind also, a big plus is the property value increases. If you check historical prices, normally between 2 and 3% per year, of course depending on the area, but that's kind of general rule. And you have to take out of this calculation the big crises, because that's not a fair assessment. So if you check probably 2008, when the market crashed, you'd see a loss of probably 20, 30, 40%. But then if you check when the market bounced back again, you would see a big change and increase in the market value. So you always have to take probably 10, 20, 30 years, but it's a safe bet if you do all the checks and the research before. Probably 2 to 3% per year in property value is really good. Also, you could rent out the room, right? So again, that's an extra income. So you buy a 3-bedroom property, guess what? You could rent out the 2 rooms if you want. Also, if you work at home, that makes the property also a place of business, so it's tax deductible. Okay, so in this part, I wanted to talk about what you see also online, where people kind of manipulate the numbers, and I have a big problem with this one, because what everybody says online is, well, that's true, a house could give you increase in equity because every year, right, you make 2 to 3% on its value, and then you deduct the fees and you deduct repairs and you deduct everything, and you might have 1% increase in equity per year. And also you have to pay off the mortgage, and in the mortgage there's also a percentage of money that the company earns, that the bank earns because of the loan they gave you. And you could use the money for the deposit, you could use it to invest in something else that could give you 10, 15%. Really? I mean, that's my biggest problem, that everybody going in this direction gives you. Well, you could take the $30,000, $50,000 deposit and you can invest in Google search something that gives you 10% per year historically, and you can make a lot more money. Really? How many people do you know invest that well with their money? How many people? And also you have to take in mind that this is a lot of, when it comes to people's mentality, right? You have to understand, how many people do you know that they're saving money for a mortgage? I know quite a few that managed to save $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 because year after year they were pushing to put some money aside for a mortgage. How many people, right, do you know that, oh, I'm trying to save money up to invest in a portfolio? Nobody. What really happens is, if you're saving up for a mortgage, every month you're putting money aside for a mortgage, and everybody could do it, right? Because you have a clear set target in mind and you know what you're trying to achieve. But every time, okay, I'm paying the rent, I'm paying this, and with the money that you keep aside, nobody's thinking, I'm going to put this into an investment fund. No, most of the people are going to spend it, and it's normal. I'm not judging you, because I would do the same. if it wasn't the mortgage to push me in one direction to try to achieve it. And at the same time, if you have a mortgage, nobody's going to not pay the mortgage. So again, you're focusing to pay money into the mortgage and have enough for yourself, maybe have enough for a holiday. People with no mortgage usually tend to spend all of it because that's what human nature, that's normal human nature. So when people say, yeah, you could take the deposit and invest in something 10%, that's not real. Let's be honest. Nobody saves that amount of money to put it into an investment fund. I might be wrong, but 99% of people will just spend it on normal everyday stuff, and that's what happens. You can never end up getting that much money as for a deposit because you always have different items to spend. So that's my gripe with this. So for my case, in my scenario, I have a property in London that I bought quite a while back, like 5-6 years ago, and I'm renting out for around £1,000. So 1-bedroom flat in London, and my mortgage is 400 quid. So why are we even discussing this topic? Nobody invests in something that easily and it's that controlled, right? Because with the £1,000 per month, if the market goes up or down, right, I could increase my rate or I could decrease it, but I'm still in a safety zone. With an investment, I don't know, it's not that easy and cut and dry. So this is not for somebody who's really well equipped and knowledgeable in investments. This is for everyday people like me who want to get by and have a decent life and have a decent financial stability. So that would be my case. And just at the end, what I really think you guys should do, and this is what I also done when I was a bit younger, the first step is to rent just one bedroom as cheap as possible, as close as possible to work, right? So you have everything as cheaply as possible, and you try to save as much money as possible for a deposit. Then really do proper research, find an area that's really nice, really close to work, that has nice schools, it's a safe area. Do your research 10,000 times, drive at night, drive in the morning, see what shops you have, see what neighbors you have, and then hire out. When you apply for a mortgage, you have to, normally the banks ask you to hire a company to check out the property, so the value that you're paying for it is quite real to the market, and you should be safe. And that's a hassle-free life, in my opinion. Once you get a mortgage, you're quite set. If you really need some support with the money, rent out a room or two, get some decent cash, and then move on to the next property. But again, this is only my opinion. I hope this helps you guys. And hopefully, if you guys want to write me some comments, and we'll try to debate this. I know it's a quite broad topic, and it's always about the numbers. But again, this is only my opinion, and I really hope it gives you guys a bit of direction and hope it helps. Anyway, till next time, have a great day, guys, and take care.